As we consider the book of Matthew, chapter 26, from verse 36, I just want us to take a moment to reflect on Jesus at Gethsemane again. Verse 36, it says, "Then Jesus came with them to a place called Gethsemane, and said to the disciples, 'Sit here while I go and pray over there.' And he took with him Peter and the two sons of Zebedee, and he began to be sorrowful and deeply distressed. And he said to them, 'My soul is exceedingly sorrowful, even to death. Stay here and watch with me.' He went a little farther and fell on his face and prayed, saying, 'Oh, my Father, if it's possible, let this cup pass from me. Nevertheless, not as I will, but as you will.'" And if you notice here that there was really something about Jesus expressing his grief. Alright. Jesus expressed his grief at Gethsemane. He expressed how he was feeling. And at that point of expression, he stayed at that point. He was there until he received power to face what was coming ahead of him. There was going to be betrayal, which had already taken place. There was going to be denial. There was going to be the cross. All right. And when he thought of all of these things, he stayed until he received power. And now I don't know what you may be going through that is causing you to grieve. And you have stayed at that place of grief for a very long time, and you do not know when you're going to get out of it, and you do not know how you're going to get out of it, because when you think about what's going to happen tomorrow, you are even more and more exhausted, because you think of the event that's going to happen ahead of you. You think of what you're going to get into next. You're not even certain of how you're going to go through it, but here you are, grieved and troubled. And this is what happened with Jesus. He stayed there until he received power. He stayed there until he surrendered. He stayed there until he was able to give up his own will to the will of the Father. Today, if you are still grieving, I want you to stay at that place for a moment until you receive power. All right? Until you receive power, the strength to be able to face what's going to be happening ahead of you. I don't know what's going to be happening ahead of you. I don't know what is before you. I don't know what's coming in the future, but you need to stay. You need to surrender. You need to surrender your will. You need to give up your power so you can receive the power of the Lord within you to carry you through the test of times that is before you. And this is what happened at Gethsemane. His pain and grief point, right? That was his pain and grief point, and that was where he drew strength to face what was ahead. All right. And Gethsemane was also his pressure point, but from that pressure point, it became power. All right. And I'm praying for you today that you will become power from that your pressure point. From that pressure point, he became the power that is living within us today and keeping us alive today. And I pray that your pressure point will turn to power, that will make sense and transform lives around you. And I pray that your pressure point will give you the victory that no man can stand, as no man can stand the victory that Jesus received at Gethsemane. He received victory at Gethsemane because he acknowledged and he surrendered. And one thing I need you to do is that I need you to come to a point of surrendering what you feel you know, what you think you know, what you think is right, what you think you understand, what you think your abilities are. And allow God to step into that situation and give you his power, give you his direction, give you his strength, give you his power, give you his purpose. And I'm praying today as you begin to consider that the Lord will enter into these grief moments of yours and make a way where there seems to be no way. God bless you. Amen.